Thank you, Katie. Thank you for your leadership. My name is Doyle Canning, and if you're like me, the past few weeks have been excruciatingly painful. As I brush my children's teeth, as I make them breakfast, as I tuck them into their beds, I have to hold back the tears. I don't want to show them that I'm crying for the children who are in these facilities that can only accurately be described as concentration camps for little babies. This is what is happening in our country today on our watch. And I, for one, am not going to stay on the sidelines and watch it happen. I am going to do everything in my power to fight for these children as hard as I will fight for my own children and as hard as I will fight for your children. I have not made any kind of formal campaign announcement yet, but today's as good a time as any to tell you that my name is Doyle Canning. I'm a mother. I'm a community organizer. And I am running to represent you in the United States Congress in 2020. I have been working quietly and behind the scenes for almost 20 years in social movements to change this country. And I have to tell you, this crisis didn't start in 2016. I was at the founding meeting of Families Belong Together. It was in 2011. It was a meeting of women's organizations and migrant rights organizations, domestic workers and day laborers and mothers coming together because of what was happening with ICE, the collaboration of ICE with local law enforcement, the raids on workplaces, and it was Democratic leadership that was doing that. It is important to recognize that the infrastructure, the machinery that Trump is expanding today didn't begin with Trump. We have had decades of failed leadership for our migrant communities. And if we want to find a way out of this crisis, we have to have the courage to tell that truth. I don't know enough about my ancestors, but I know I am named Doyle. It is a Gaelic name, and it is a name for my ancestors who came from Ireland because they were hungry, because they were politically persecuted, because they did not have freedom of religion. That's why they came to this country. And when I see that father and that toddler drowning in the Rio Grande, I say, those families are my families. Those children are my children. And I don't have a prepared speech. I am speaking from the heart today because that is what is necessary. That is what is required. I am running to close the camps. I am running to dismantle this system that is torturing children and separating babies from their mothers. It is wrong. These are not radical ideas. This is what is right. It did not surprise me that the lawyer, the woman who went on television last week and told the stories about what was happening inside the facility in Texas, who saved the life of a dying premature baby just by being there and getting her medical attention. She was a mom from Oregon. That is who we are. And we are a force that can change this country. And I hope you will join me. We can only do this together. I certainly can't do it alone. It's going to take a movement of millions of mothers, of fathers, of grandmothers, of people of faith, people of conscience, Americans, putting our shoulder to the wheel and making big structural change. We can't just put Band-Aids on this crisis. We have to get to the root of it. We have to reimagine what this system could be. And they will tell us that we don't know how the system works. And we will say if the system is about taking little babies away from their parents, then we are going to change that system. I look forward to being in conversation with you, talking with you about the solutions to this crisis. I don't have them all. That's why I'm here to listen and follow the leadership of the Latinx community. They have some good ideas about how to fix this problem. And that's who I'll be listening to. That's who I'll be taking my orders from. I thank you for listening to me today. I thank you for being here. I haven't formally launched my campaign yet, but stay tuned. And one thing I will say is that this campaign is going to be 100% people-powered. Not a dime, not a dollar from big corporations, super PACs, or the billionaires that are running this country. Because what is happening on the border, it is not an accident. They're not doing it just to play around, just to be mean, as my children say. This is part of an agenda. It is Trump's agenda to divide the American people, to inspire hate and rage and resentment against people of color. That is what this administration's agenda is. And why are they doing it? So we don't come together and fight each other instead of fighting back against them. We're not going to fall for it. We are here to build a movement of working people that is ready to structurally transform this country. We're going to dream big, and we're going to fight hard, and we're going to win.